Okay. Yo, what's up, guys? I have shit all over my face. So if my face is like mad shiny, I'm sorry in advance. I need to put this shit on to grow my beard back out faster. So, I look a little bit more handsome than I normally would. I'm not baby face, and it's like kind of like a clean 5 o'clock shadow look, which I'm kind of fucking with, to be honest. But let me go ahead and put stream up, just, so these people would know. Obviously don't want that. So yeah, I'm just gonna tell my people like, yo, well, it's streaming or some shit, We're gonna do that. And yeah, right now what we're basically doing is going back over Dabuz's guides, because I gave it a very fucking hard time for no reason. Even though I clearly may not have... There's shit going on in the background, I'm sorry in advance. But I gave it a really hard time. I just jumped on the bandwagon. Like, I first watched it, I critiqued that I had a very not open mind, because back when he was first in Piccord, he asked a few questions but never really participated in discussion. And so he'd put out all these guides and shit without actually fully understanding everything. It's just kind of based off of his surface level understanding of the character. I mean, I'm pretty sure he still plays and he's a lot better. He did a Juggernaut battle where he beat us. A lot of the pits weren't good. I wasn't good at the time, to be honest. I wasn't good enough to really say like, yo, I'm like up there, but I was apparently like one of the best pit players in the server for a long time. But yeah, we're basically just going over his analysis to see if I can learn something, some shit that I miss, some things I'll critique. Pretty much just that. So yeah, my credentials are being the best pit in Mississippi. Nobody fucking knows what Mississippi is. I have some decent wins on people. I was well known online for like the last few years. I just don't care, to be honest, anymore. To be honest, school kind of got in the way. My passion for this game is kind of dead because Fighter Pass 2. But yeah, fuck it. We're just gonna see what Dabuz has to say. I'm actually kind of excited to see what he says in here. This isn't gonna be a roast thing. It's just gonna be, I'll stop a few times to see if there's anything that I agree with or disagree with.
Alright guys, so today I'm gonna be finally releasing my pick guide.
Look at his lips and his beard. Oh my god.
Here we go. This is gonna be a guide that's meant to teach basics of pit. So like, if you're a pit mate, you're not gonna learn much.
True.
This is
I mean, he did say that. Like, he said that multiple times, but it's still like, I still critique just to see if there's anything that I would teach a pick. Obviously bread and butters and shit like that. You can do the main thing, how to approach neutral, disadvantage with the character, recovering, just certain things that would just, you'd want to know for any new person picking up. Then they can just pioneer the rest, like confirms, of course. Pretty much those are the main things I'd put in the video. Basics, general game plan, we'll see what he says in this.
20-ish base, you can go from not knowing much of anything about pit to be able to play this character at a decent level.
Yeah, like he said,
and
decent level.
Yeah, let's get right into it. Shouts, by the way, to the Pit Discord. They give me a lot of helpful advice on learning this character. People come to my streams a lot to really teach me what to do with this character. It's been very useful.
I'm glad, Dabuz. Let's see what you got.
Pit is a jack of all trades character, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
He's pretty good. I put him around like upper half, maybe upper third of the tier list.
Yeah.
He's a very good solo main character, actually,
Mm-hmm.
because he has a lot of evenish and slightly winning matchups with
True.
a fair amount of slightly losing matchups.
True.
But he's not polarizing.
True.
He's very few
yeah, there's a
hard
few
winning matchups.
Yeah,
and very few hard losing matchups, which is very nice. So, with this said, you can play him into pretty much any matchup in bracket, which is really cool.
I wouldn't say any matchup, but yeah, he said it before.
Which is a fun character. He is a jack of all trades character. Particularly excels, in my opinion, at grounded footsies and more defense.
I know Earth does a lot of grounded footsies. I know he didn't smash 4 and that kind of carried over to the neutral for this character. But yeah, he's mainly footsies, getting safe pokes, sometimes grabs to get more concrete punishes in a lot of senses, and getting his opponent off stage. That's his main game plan. And for characters that have really shit disadvantage, I mean, it's not to where Pit's jump height is so big that he can just keep, yo, what's up, Edmund? It's not to the point where like he can just hit you, put you in disadvantage and you die automatically. Like, his jump height isn't Palu's to where like you get hit by 3 up airs and you die off of certain stages. It's more or less just like before his buffs, that move was useless. Now it's more like way more effective for confirms, down throw up air on ledge, up tilt up air for confirm, up airs in general at high percents like 130, 140, so and so. But just in case of like getting your opponent, like you're not gonna up throw up air your opponent unless they like are very fucking bad at landing.
Punish based gameplay. He is a little bit lacking on pressure. He has.
I'd say he has good pressure, but I see what he means by that though. He can't just hit buttons on people like Roy or some shit. Like he actually has to play it around the mid range a lot more than other players do. I'd say his biggest attribute is actually his mid range and his fluidity between like close range with his combos, because his close range to me isn't really that good. A lot of moves get beat out at close quarters. It's really, he plays a lot of like mid range, long range, and like shield, and he capitalizes really heavily on like shield. His advantage isn't as good because he doesn't have good jank. His advantage is good. Like it's solid. He has solid confirms and such. It's just a matter of like knowing the correct DI on a lot of things, because his starting combos, a lot of his stuff that people think is true isn't true for specific DI. His advantage state's good though. Like being able to like get a grab on somebody and do 30 to him while pushing him off stage pretty consistently is really good. You know, that's actually pretty good. But it's just a matter of like other shit. There's other factors. But the reason his advantage state isn't crazy is because he just isn't fast enough to like catch up to his opponent.
He also has a really good disadvantage state. But
his disadvantage, okay, Pitt's disadvantage state is fucking amazing. It's not just really good. It's fucking insane. Pitt, or like specifically because of orbitals, back, I think he might have done this right after Pitt got buffed too. I think he did this video like right after Pitt got buffed. And with the 8.0 patch, he basically had like, what the fuck was it? He had a lot of stuff. He had a lot of stuff upgraded. He had his up air buffed. He had his the fuck else? Orbitals has 5 less frames of end lag, which is crazy. I think the angle on down throw got changed, and I think that was about it. But like all those buffs, like, oof, baby.
Good damage output and kill power, so that's gonna be a struggle. Almost Sheik syndrome.
I wouldn't say he's almost Sheik syndrome now. Actually, yeah, I would, because Sheik has confirmed. They're so different now. Forgot he got buff. That was a nerf that Steve got on his up smash. Ugh.
And if you want to just kind of use your range to be very annoying to people.
Was Steve even out in 8.0? I don't think he was.
And constantly win neutral and keep people in disadvantage for a long period of time.
Okay, that is true.
This is your character. What comes to his attributes?
Basically, be good. Be better than your opponent at all times to capitalize on this opponent's strength, or this character's strength. That's pretty much what he's saying.
He is pretty good Foxtrot. Pretty good dash.
I actually don't use Foxtrot pretty much at all with this character. I like to approach with arrows a lot more. Foxtrot, I don't feel like Pitt's strengths I don't think they lie too heavily on his Foxtrot like his dash shit. I can see what the appeal is for it, because his Foxtrot is probably the fastest way that he can get around because his initial dash is so good. His walk's actually really solid too. So I think actually mixing up tempo and finding different ways of approaching like through about mid jump range along with, you know, sometimes even above, is a really good way to figure out. You basically want to poke with safe moves in a lot of cases, but if you're foxtrotting, you're basically setting yourself up to get hit. What is foxtrot? It's basically initial dash dancing. So it's like you're basically that. You'll see. He'll do it.
He is
so that's basically foxtrotting.
Pretty good dash. He is middleweight. He actually has a slower than average dash shield though at frame 12, which is a big deal for approaching. Most characters have a frame 10 dash shield. His airspeed is very poor, but he has
his airspeed is ass.
Change his air direction.
Okay, that's one thing I will say. Never fucking do this in neutral, unless your opponent is just like really bad at covering it. Like, don't jump like that. You never really want to use your jumps like this on stage unless there are platforms involved, because what happens is Pitt's airspeed is so bad. Like he can mix up for sure, but most characters around, like, you see where the combo length is, he's at like total damage height, around like combo height, that's about where you're gonna get hit if you don't just mash orbitals. Pit's disadvantage is good because he can basically land for free if you be reverse orbitals on pretty much every landing, which is great. And so that creates a lot of scenarios where you're trying to go for an aggressive option to punish his one flaw, which is his, aerial presence. But you can't really do that because if you get hit, or if you hit Pit and it hits orbitals, now he's in an advantageous situation, which is really bullshit. And personally for me, yo, what's up, Morgan? And for me personally, like, that's what I don't like about the character the most, and I find the most fucking annoying. Because you basically, Pit's biggest flaw becomes like his biggest strength with one move in his kit. And I find that really fucking annoying.
But he has multi.
And I've even been saying, like, when the patch first came out for 8.0, that it's really fucking dumb that this character has that. Like, it's so dumb that this character has the ability to basically play off of his disadvantage like that, because they basically took that from Palu away, because they took away her grab range. So, but Palu could do a thing where she basically just planked on edge, and if you whiff something, even when it was slightly spaced, her standing grab out of shield was so fucking good that she could still grab you from a spaced move. Like, she'll grab you from a spaced move and just toss you. It was super toxic for Palu. But now she just kind of plays like a normal character, which I don't really mind, to be honest. I just think a lot of people, because of that, drop the character.
Jumps to kind of change his air direction and kind of like adjust his speed in the opposite direction very quickly.
I wouldn't do that. Like, it's a lot more efficient in my opinion to go for orbitals landing like that, because you get so much more momentum. Like, you don't just get jump momentum, you get an extra push from the Beerverse with the direction. You can also do wave bounce, but I wouldn't do it because it's kind of extra. Palu's still not normal, but yeah, I see what you mean. Bro, I'm labbing Aegis right now, and this character is broken. I might say, yeah, Aegis is so fucking good. I was playing one earlier today. But yeah, it's a lot more effective for you to actually go for landing orbitals in this situation, because you get the initial velocity of, orbitals pushing you in the direction that your back is facing. But also, like, you're safe because you have two shields on opposite sides of you, and some parts even covering part of your foot on the first startup of it. As you fall down, of course, like, it's going to get smaller. But the cool thing is that you can release it and basically change direction and go like, stay back, stay back, stay back. Like, you can zigzag with it and actually have like full shield pretty much the entire time you land, which is broken. And with platforms, in that situation, it becomes way harder for your opponent to actually punish it.
He's also a floaty character.
Yeah, he's pretty floaty.
A low fall speed character who has low gravity, so he doesn't get comboed well, which is very nice.
Honestly, if Pit feels good, but he also feels really fucking good to combo. Is Orbital's a better version of Parry, pretty much? No. I wouldn't say it's a better version of Parry. The only thing about it, it's like, how do I even describe this? It doesn't put you in hit stun. Like, Orbital's breaking does not put you in hit stun. It's just the drop frames. So the drop frames of it, I think it's like -5. So even if you get hit by a smash attack, you're not putting a shield stun. So you're basically like, all you're doing is just taking in consideration that -5, and then you can just grab off of that, like, once that's over. So I'd say it's a little bit worse than shield, to be honest, but in cases where you're actually getting hit, it doesn't factor in shield stun. So in a lot of cases, it is better. So it's not better out of shield. Like, it's not better than out of shield, but it's better than getting hit and still having, like, a shield. It's so dumb. It's better than having a shield option that's like, God damn it, how do I explain this? It's better than out of shield, or no, it's worse than out of shield, but if it's a strong hit that's strong enough to actually, put you in a lot of shield stun, then Orbital's breaking is actually better than that. That's what I'm trying to say. Jesus Christ.
And then he has 3 aerial jumps.
Yeah, he has 3 aerial jumps, or 4 in total. So 1 on the ground, 3 aerial.
Now it comes to his neutral.
The thing is, you're not really going to be using those in that way. And the reason why is because Pit's airspeed is so bad, and he doesn't have moves that are like, unless, I guess dare camping could be one thing, but he doesn't have moves with enough priority to actually make having those jumps really, really, like, unpunishable, because most characters, with at least like a solid disjoint, like Mario Backer or something, are gonna beat down air. It's just about like how it just. I guess it's just more about frames.
His neutral revolves a lot around his neutral air.
Yeah, it does. It does. That's true.
Busted. Absolutely.
Oh yeah, this move is fucking broken. This shit's minus. What the fuck is it? I think it said it's -6. I think it's -6.
Ridiculous.
This move is safe as fuck. So the move is safe as fuck. Like really, really stupid, especially on cross up. Attack cancel is safe. Cross up is safe. You can just use that shit to shield poke. Like you can just space 2 down tilts on somebody's shit and then just go for like a fucking like nair on their shield, regardless of if it's like on there or not, which is so funny. And it'll shield poke unless they angle it like up and diagonal toward like the middle of nair. It's really good. But the thing is, like, it doesn't combo past like 30 or 40.
It's a multi-hit, comes out frame 4.
It's just annoying as
and
fuck.
they can give him combo.
It's really annoying because it's so fucking fast. Frame 7 out of shield, like it's frame 7 out of shield. So, like Pits can kind of just do it on reaction. Like Pits can just do it on reaction if they know you're gonna go for a what's it called, a grab, like a dash grab, and it covers spot dodges. So imagine going to like try to approach like Pit and shield. You basically have to just throw out safe shit on their shield and then just kind of like go from there. But it's so fucking annoying.
So because of that, I find myself use this move a lot. It's also disjointed a little bit. So,
it's a little bit disjointed. It's actually, in my opinion, better than Palunair.
A lot of neutral revolves around this.
Because it can edge guard. Palunair sends at such a high degree. Or is that angle? Yeah, high angle. That it does not kill pretty much until probably about like 160, 170 off stage as an edge guarding tool. Pitch shit just kills at like 120, 130 off ledge. Sometimes even earlier, depending on like the position. But it's just, since it's such a better angle for edge guarding, being off stage in general, and just how to like combo in itself. Because Paulo gets like 3 nairs, that's about it. With optimal DI. Pit gets nair, fair, nair, or nair, fair, regrab. And in total, the damage is more or less about the same, but the position that you actually get off of like yours with Pit is slightly better.
If your opponent is pressing slower buttons, like a sortie for example, just dashing up and...
Nobody is going to get hit by that hitbox, by the way. Or nobody's going to miss tech in that position.
Your opponent is pressing,
because that's
slower
late hit
buttons,
nair. That's late hit
like
nair. Like he hit him with pretty much the last 2 hits of that hitbox, and it sent it into a tech situation. But even then, most people are gonna react to either jumping out or teching in that position.
Just dashing up.
Like you basically are trying to aim for like all hits of the move to connect, because that will give you like the most damage and lead into, the correct combo at certain percents.
The neutral air is very good because you interrupt their buttons consistently.
But yeah, I personally don't use Rising Nair like that. Like, I see what he's doing though, but you basically want to use Rising Nair and attack cancel it most times that you use it. So basically fast fall between frames, I don't even know the fucking frames. I think it's like first 5 frames or some shit like, or last 5 frames or some shit like that. I just remember 5 through 9 for some reason, but that might be fair or some shit. But yeah. You basically want to be fast falling this move because it's a lot safer that way. If you're just still in the air with the move, then you're not actually utilizing all of its properties.
Character without much range, like say Mario, trying to like jump you with aerials, you can use like...
You cannot do that against Mario, by the way. That shit's gonna trade. One of my friends who uses Dark Pit literally mashes Nair so much I might as well be his neutral. Yeah, pretty much, dog. But yeah, you don't want to be using Nair like that. You can use retreating Nair for sure, but you want to be fast falling it. I can lab that later too if you guys want. But yeah, you want to be fast falling that, because what you want to do is basically be auto or attack canceling it on pretty much every landing to make it as safe as possible. But what he's doing is just doing basically the full Nair, getting all forms of like the in lag, falling down. And this doesn't really pressure anything, to be honest. You're better off just shooting projectiles backwards in order to like kind of like Fox or Falco laser. Yeah, I don't know. I personally don't use Nair like that.
To kind of outspace them like this.
But retreating Nair doesn't actually outspace shit, by the way. I'm just saying that right now. Retreating Nair does not outspace shit.
Which is really nice. This move also beats spot dodges very easily, beats air dodges, can beat roll-ins, beats people
Yeah, see how much landing lag he gets from
buttons
that.
on the ground.
He's not attack canceling it.
And it kind of just does everything. It is -6 on block if you fast fall right. So you want to fast fall.
There we go. See, I'm glad he knows that. It is -6 on
less
block
hitbox
when it's
comes
fast
out.
fall, right?
Like doing like this, you want to kind of time the fast fall.
There
right
you
when the
go.
hitbox come out.
There we
less hitbox
go.
comes
Yeah, he
out,
did it.
But you get the auto cancel window.
Yeah, there
you
we
don't
go. Oh shit, so he does know about it. He just wasn't fucking doing it.
You perfectly make
What
like
the
a
fuck?
-9 there, which is fine. I kind of assume this one could get my player's character. Because then the perfect timing is very difficult. And as long as you don't mess up really badly. Because if you mess up the fast fall really badly, you get a lot of landing lag. And it's
Yeah.
like -12.
Yeah.
Which is
Okay, now he's doing it. What the
pretty bad.
fuck? Yeah.
So yeah, this move
Yeah, pretty much. That's how you do it, by the way.
extremely
I'm
good.
glad he actually
You
knows
use
how
that
to
shield
fucking
pokes
do
with
it.
down tilt
But I'm like, yeah, you want to be fucking attack canceling
for
that
pressure
shit,
and neutral,
because that's where you get
or
most of your
back air nair
follow-ups.
to be
Let me stop
tilt nair,
talking.
which is extremely. This move is extremely good. You can set up shield pokes with down tilt nair,
Yep.
which is extremely good.
Yes.
For pressure neutral, or back air nair to be really good.
True.
So you can find yourself using that pattern moves a lot. You can find yourself using this move up close to like drift away from your opponent a lot, like this, or to cross them up. Both of them are extremely good. Safe
Also,
options.
that nair in the backer is true for some reason.
Now the main issue with this move is its damage output's low. So if you can't get combos off this move, it's not
Which one?
rewarding.
Which one?
Even if it's gonna win neutral a lot. So
Which one?
his basic combos on this move rewarding. The main issue with this move is its damage output's low. So if you can't get combos off this move.
The fuck is he talking about? He's talking about nair?
Now the main issue with this move is both of them are extremely good safe options. Now the main issue with this move is its damage output's low. So if you can't get combos off this move, it's not rewarding.
Huh?
Even if it's gonna win neutral a lot. So
Is he talking about nair? The fuck's he talking about? Nair doesn't combo. What?
his
Yeah, it
basic
does.
combos on this move are gonna be something like nair, fast fall at the right time, forward air is pretty good.
Not a 10 though. It's mainly gonna be a.
Time. One more
That's
time.
not true. Come on, Dabuz,
There
you got
you
the
go.
execution.
You have to kind of react to where they're being sent. If they're being sent higher, you have to kind of like full up the fair sometimes, and that's
Yeah.
based on the DI.
Do it at 0.
If they're being sent too low, you have to go for a dash attack instead.
There you go.
Like let's say DI
Oh,
down
God.
away, that's dash attack there.
Why am I seeing Dabuz mess up nair fair?
Heavyweight characters and fast falls like
God
Falcon
damn it,
actually
Dabuz.
can DI down away and force a tech chase scenario, which I like to use down smash in those scenarios. You can go for jabs you want, except jab blocks.
Oh yeah, that's what I was roasting. I was roasting his combos.
You can go for dash attacks.
He hasn't mentioned down throw, down air, nair once. Or down throw, up tilts, up air, or whatever. He hasn't mentioned down throw, back air. He hasn't mentioned back throw, dash attack. He hasn't mentioned really any bread and butters. Down throw, reverse, down air, back air. Down tilt, up air. Down throw, up air on ledges and 50-50. His kill throw.
You can go for grabs, you want to be greedy, or down tilt. I just like down smash to cover miss tech, tech in place, and tech roll behind. And I can dash
Miss tech actually is better for you to go for jab lock down air. It's the most optimal thing, to be honest, which is kind of crazy.
with them to cover tech roll away and then down smash later.
I can see down smash being really good, especially for drag downs too. Drag down nair and down smash is really, really good.
But do you want there? Just keep in mind to react to the DI, and don't over chase off this move. If you land like a neutral air, and your opponent looks like they're too far to chase, and you're not confident.
Yep, that's
Probably
good.
shouldn't, because you can just keep running the neutral over and over with this character. And yeah, it's just a good move overall. You won't get many combos at higher percents on these rising nairs.
True.
However, one other thing to mention about this move is the falling hitbox, not falling, the drag down hitboxes
Yeah.
do not scale with percent. So
They
drag
don't?
down nair into like down smash works at any percent.
Oh
And
yeah.
the key to that is to try and drag them down with the lower hitboxes of the nair,
Yep.
because it's hard to explain, but the lower hitboxes of the nair give you combos where if you drag them down with the upper hitbox, it doesn't give you any.
Actually, wait. I think it's the upper hitboxes that actually are the correct drag down hitboxes. All of them work, but it's actually better for you to go for the upper ones.
Combos. So you want to get like the pop up like that, and then you get guaranteed down smash
At higher percents though.
at any percent. You can even go for a grab if they like land next to you,
That's not true, by the way.
or a down tilt you want to do it, which is a little bit hard to execute. I'm not sure if it's actually guaranteed. I feel like it isn't a lot of
It's
times.
not. It's more of like a matchup check thing. They can mash shield in a lot of cases,
But also works
but it's just like frame perfect pretty much for them.
because people just don't press.
So it needs to
any
be
button, or
buffering
they
it, yeah.
press shield, I should
He's
say.
even explaining that.
So yeah, next other important neutral move is going to be your forward air. This move is a very good defensive spacing move.
This is the move,
It's
yeah.
like frame 11. It's multi-hit. The thing
There's also a dead spot on his hand, by the way. So you see that empty space right there, right above Pit's head, or right below Pit's head? That's pretty much all a dead spot, which is like a really, really big flaw that I don't like about the character. Because if people are experienced enough, spacing fairs like that is actually like really bad for them because they can just shield dash inside the fair and end up basically getting a punish by being like right inside of Pit. So he has that flaw going for him.
thing is, it has a good amount of range, but it's not too safe on block.
It's not.
So you want to use this like shooting to kind of stop you running in. Because if someone's running in at you, and you're doing this or jumping in at you, you just do this, it's probably going to beat the attack. Unless it's like a massive disjoint. Note, by the way, you know it has a lot of range. Pit's hand is extended during the move,
Yeah.
so it's not too disjoint. You can hit his hand during the forward.
Oh shit, he knows about that. What the fuck?
Yeah, so
What the fuck? He's like one of the few people that knows about that shit.
Just, oh, like, you're trying to roll at me? Punish. You're trying to dash me? Punish. Oh, you're trying to space me without a big disjoint? Punish. And if you're very confident in the move, you can actually drift towards the opponent with the move and
True.
get small combos off of it. So,
They combo probably about like 25-30%. But yeah, it's not registered as true for most of the casts unless it's like floaties. Drag down fair down tilt up air is just like a confirm. It's just a confirm.
and try to make sure you land
He's getting the wrong hitbox
front
of
of
it
the
too.
move. You don't want to like land with the drag down to high percents. Like, see, fair dash like
Yeah,
basic,
he
you
knows.
can go for, like fair into dash grab if you're feeling confident. You can
Not
do fair
true.
into down tilt
He's not getting the correct hitbox for it.
at low enough percents if they're really.
He's not fast falling fast enough to actually get to register as true. He's kind of falling, but he's landing like after the move is finished, and so it creates like all the lag. He's not actually auto canceling it.
Close to you, like that. So that's really good. And then back air is kind of the aggressive cousin of the move. Back air is -4 on block or 5.
Oh, yeah, back air's
close to the
crazy.
sour spot. It has less range but more disjoint. So like even for sorties like Marcina, for example, you can actually contest their forward air if you space it right with your back air.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And the
I
way
wouldn't
think
do that.
about this move is
In that matchup, I wouldn't do that, but yeah, you could.
once this move is out, it's safe. Like,
Yeah, this move's dumb as fuck. Yeah, he's right.
it's a -7, right? If it's sweet spot,
It's actually safer than that.
perfectly timed. So like this, if you parry this, if you pump parries this, doesn't matter. They're not getting a punish.
Pretty
They
sure
have
it's
to
safer than -7 actually. Like it's safe as fuck. Yeah, it's -3. I was like, I know for a fact it's like safe as fuck. Yeah, it's -3 to Buzz.
hard read your next option generally. And you can use this defensively like this, or you can use this offensively. The main
It's
thing
just
is
a very
it's not
good move.
multi-hit.
This is a very good move, but it's very telegraphed. The opponent can kind of just stop fucking approaching in a lot of cases, and then force you to overshoot, then get you to punish that way. Because if you're like, it's good because it's safe, but actually setting it up in the proper position to optimally space it can be easily thrown off by your opponent just getting like a position to make you overshoot than just going in for it. You have to be
time
very
this really
careful.
well, and it will lose to things like old-time spot dodges or rolls. But this is pretty spammable, and honestly, if you find yourself using this move like 4 or 5 times in neutral, that's fine. It really is. It's that good.
Yeah.
Especially with the amount of show damage it does, like someone can't block this like 3 times in a row.
This is offline though.
They have to like block one of these and then outplay the rest of them by like speed.
They could honestly just like land on you with Nair though. Like Mario could just double jump Nair.
Facing really well.
Or they can do a rising aerial on this.
Especially with the threat of show pokes, or even show breaks after this move. And yeah,
If I saw a Pit doing this though, I would literally just like Mario has a fucking projectile, so he can just shoot fireball at that shit, then go in with like a grab.
It's also extremely powerful kill move, so you're gonna find yourself using this a lot of kill percents.
Yeah. He's
Along
broken.
actually with drag down there as kill percents.
Does he know about? I'm hoping that he knows about down throw back here.
And yeah, other important move we should talk about neutral is his down tilt. Down tilt is just kind of a throw it out there move, in my opinion.
No, down tilt is like one of the best moves we have, dog. Down tilt is basically grab. We basically fish for the same follow-ups off of down tilt that we would for grab. The only difference is for grab, they're a lot more guaranteed. For down tilt, you're gonna get a nair pretty much guaranteed from like 0 to like 40, which is fucking awesome. Maybe even higher percents, like 50, 60 range, depending on DI. But down tilt is not just a throw it out there move. It's actually really good for our CQC in a really, really important position. Actually, he was even talking about it earlier, how few down tilts on shield and like nair just work. So it's not a move that you just kind of throw out there. It has like a really good purpose, and it's probably our main spacing tool in neutral because our F tilt is shit.
6, pretty good range, gives you combo.
Yeah, combos and shit, and also really, really good thing that he's probably gonna touch on in a second is that it actually gives you slight forward momentum. So if you're spamming this move, you're getting progressively closer and closer. So it's basically like a micro dash in a fucking move. Like pretty much every time you throw this move out, you're micro dashing toward your opponent, which is fucking awesome. So that's also something that you really, really want to take into consideration.
Those particularly good combos on close range down tilt because they can DI it and they get like tipper down tilt, they can DI it away. It's not best for comboing. But close range down tilt is very good for comboing at 8%. And pretty much at low percents, you're just gonna go for down tilt nair. Nothing crazy. Very reliable, even up to like higher percents, like 60 or 70. It's pretty good.
Another thing too that he probably won't touch on is arrows. I'm hoping that he does though. Everything right here is right though.
This move covers dash-ins very well. Can cover someone missing an aerial. It can outspace a lot of moves.
Yes, it can.
It can cover spot dodges.
Why is he saying it's just a move he can throw out though?
If you space it right. It can just kind of does everything.
Yeah.
This move was buffed last patch, and it was such a big deal that it was buffed.
I wouldn't say it's like a big deal that it was buffed. It basically functions the same way, just with slightly better combo potential.
See, like,
that's pretty much the exact same thing as it did before, but it also creates like a lot more variety with his up air. That is something I will say. Like down tilt's angle change actually did help with his up air buff because it created several sets of confirms, which is fucking awesome.
Just playing like down tilt nair
And
still.
mix ups.
Yeah, got full hop it.
Because you can have like down tilt and the up air be true at around like 110%, 120%, and just confirm past that with the IN. But you can also have down tilt cross up on somebody and go for like an F smash or something like that because they're either buffering an air dodge or buffering an aerial in the opposite direction. So it can be used as a mix up and just a confirm on its own. Down tilt
And
nair
then a
is
higher
fucking awesome.
percents. Generally,
I swear to God, if he does down tilt back air, that shit isn't true.
you can do down tilt up air. I like that over fair
Okay,
because the fair is
that wasn't true.
a thin hitbox in with the back air. It doesn't really. A lot
Down
of times the first it won't connect. And this is also, by the way, the reason that fair and bear aren't really good as air to airs. They're really good as air to grounds. Since the moves are thin hitboxes, they lose to like
Yeah,
arcing attacks,
they're really
right?
skinny.
Or like a lot of times you rise with the move, and it won't quite hit
So you have to be really precise in the air with Pit, which kind of upsets me a lot.
with the move right away. Just the side note, but yeah. So generally, like doing like down tilt, up air is my
Down
combo.
tilt up air is a thing.
Or for me, read I can go for like down tilt.
Down tilt
Back air
back
is
air,
all
yeah, that's
combo.
more of a read. But it's not
Generally,
true.
they catch people off guard. And it's a kill confirm. Down tilt up air, especially up close.
Yes, it is.
This is a very reliable kill confirm.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll look for this a lot higher percents. The other main neutral tools are going to be your dash attack and dash grab.
I wouldn't say this is a neutral tool. It's more of like a read-based thing. Like it's a really fucking good move. It's a really good dash attack. It kills, catches like overshoots is awesome. Catches dash back. It's such a good fucking move. But I wouldn't really say
Dash
it's a
attack's
neutral
pretty
tool.
basic. It's just a pretty good with punish tool. Goes
Yeah.
pretty far, comes out fast.
Does
kill a high
13%.
Does some decent damage. Dash grab is a bit greedier. Pit's grab range is good, however, he loses.
Yeah, but yeah, like you said, catches landings, awesome whiff punish tool, kills. Pretty much all the same shit I'm saying.
So it functions as a not
It's pretty much it,
good
though.
range grab. So a lot of times I find myself not getting punishes on whiff to moves because it's just not enough like range on it.
Yeah, what you want to do with Pit is actually use his you want to use his grab kind of like as a whiff punish tool. That's the most optimal way you can use it, kind of like Greninja's, because you're going to basically be outranging a lot of like stubby moves on landing, and then just getting your confirm or like combo off of that. So pivot grab is really fucking good for Pit. And I actually figured out how to do it because of Ice. Like Ice was doing that shit against me. I thought it was so smooth. I'm like, man, I gotta figure that out. And like I think 2 or 3 weeks later, I was doing that shit with him. He's like, oh shit, you got a little bit better.
However, the follow-ups on his grab are really good if you can land this, and you are looking to land as many grabs as possible with Pit for that reason.
You can also get something really cool. You can get like arrow into what the fuck's it called? You can get landing arrow for Pit slightly charged into grab in a lot of cases. And drag downs also make his grabs really, really good. So yeah, he has ways of getting grabs besides just going in raw like that. Pivot grab, drag down grab, and arrow grab are really, really good things that the character has.
At like 0% down throw up smash,
No,
optimal. It's good damage, right?
Man, just if you're gonna do fucking down throw up smash, you might as well do down throw up tilt. Come on, dog. Down throw down air nairs or down throw up tilt up air. Main things for damage for off of his down throw.
From like
don't do down throw
10
smash.
to probably like 40ish, you can do on Mario down tilt, down air, and air.
You can do that at 0, nigga. My God. But no, it doesn't actually combo with that percent. That's just like bad DI on the CPU. From like 0 to like 35, I think that's like the that's what you kind of want to do. But like past 30, around 30, 35, you're going to be going for like either down throw, reverse down air, back air in on stage or off stage, or down throw, down air, up air.
And
those are like the most optimal combos at like 30 to 60.
Pretty optimal, lots of damage. Easy enough to execute. Sometimes you have to go for an up air if they get sent a little bit too high up.
You can react to it though, that's the thing. Like in this position, you can obviously react to this shit because you're still like in the bufferable window for like down, like you're still in the animation for down air. So obviously up air is going to connect in this position when your opponent's right above you. So this is reactable as fuck. You just have to do it. Yeah.
And that's also pretty good. And yeah, it's just a easy combo. You can also go for fair of the DIY. And then at higher percents, you actually have a really nice mix-up near the ledge with forward throw and down throw. Where if they DI this down throw and expecting forward throw, you can do
100 is actually like right at the percent where it's not true. I think 90 is like on Mario specifically 90 to like 94, 95 is like the last percent where it's actually true. And I'm being generous. And that's like if you have no rage, but usually you're going to want to be doing down throw back air between 60 to like 95%.
down throw.
That's
and
not
like
true.
Quickly turn around double jump back air is really good for killing. But then they start DIing this away, it's like 120. You can also do down throw up air. For the same thing of the DI in.
Yeah. I'm glad you talked about that.
With the DI away, you can go for forward throw, and it kills him early.
Yeah.
So near ledge.
It kills at 150 on all the casts, pretty much. And 165 to 170 on heavies. So yeah, it kills. That's pretty much the sweet spot that you're looking for. Pretty much on midweights below. So like give or take Pit or Wolf or Palu or one of those characters like near the middle. It's pretty much going to kill them all at like 150. And it's funny too because Bayo's actually kills around the exact same percent as Pit's. Which a lot of people don't know about because they don't even fucking know that Bayo's forward throw kills.
It's just like extremely good and important mix up for this character. And it will give you a lot of your early percent kills.
Yeah, that's why Pit's so good on light. Like Pit's best attribute in his neutral is actually just getting combos that combo off stage, push your opponent off stage. I mean, and you're basically able to have so much presence because you have like a long ass nair that can cover callouts on, you know, from ledge. You have down smash that hits pretty much the entire cast besides like Ganon, DK, whatever the fuck, and other characters. And you have up tilt, which is also really good that he hasn't really touched on. I don't even think he really will touch on that. You have off stage with nair, arrows, and Dabuz does go off stage later on, like after he does this video, because I've seen VODs of him in like different kinds of streams of him playing the character, so I know what he does for the most part. I don't know how he plays the character now, to be honest, because he hasn't fucked with this character forever. But yeah, that's pretty much, yeah.
And then a higher percentage throw throw just kills. That's really good.
Yeah.
I guess speaking of throws, up throw is just good for damage and throwing someone above you. Positioning is nice.
Position's okay. Position's only really good if the opponent's like really shit at landing. In the meta right now, like people are pretty good at landing, so.
And then back throw is just to get someone behind you, nothing crazy.
But the thing is, you can also go for like up throw into like air dodge read into like up tilt and then just combo it again into another up air. So I guess that's a mix up in itself, but I don't think you're really going to be hitting anybody with anything meaningful with up throw. But I see people go for it all the time. It kills at like 190, 200 on midweights. So there's that. And I think it kills about like the same percent F throw kills on top platform, if that helps anybody out.
And for neutral, the last thing I should probably talk about is going to be his arrows. I could probably make an entire video about these, so I can spend too long on them. They're just a really good basic projectile.
Yeah, it's really
I'm also
good.
gonna make a video later talking about Dark Pit and like the differences between the two arrows.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is just a really decent neutral tool. Doesn't do much damage. It's nice that you can angle it because you can use this as an anti-air.
And there's a lot of movement options you can get off this. You can basically stall your jumps out off stage and get in positions where you're basically guaranteed an edge guard on a lot of characters while getting the Gimp on a lot of characters. So basically taking their jump with the Gimp, going for an air, and they're basically just dead at pretty much any percent based off of their positioning. But also being able to wave bounce effectively is really fucking good because you can do approaching or retreating with full momentum. Slingshot, it's basically like slingshotting with arrow, which is great. You have B-reverse, which I kind of use a lot because it basically allows me to stall my momentum in specific situations and basically just give me a specific angle that I really like instead of just jump arrow, jump arrow, jump arrow. I basically get like a B-reverse, kind of like the pullback of an actual bow, which is more comfortable for me because I can keep my position stable and then just keep shooting in a barrage of arrows in the exact same position off stage.
Like, this is extremely good way to
it's a really fucking good projectile.
Okay, there you go, jump, no punch. Or you can do this instead if you want to be in the air to avoid like a dash attack. So yeah, really good.
But yeah, high percents this shit kill. Or not kills. At high percent, this shit literally just like converts, which is so funny to me, dog. Like you can get like at 120, you can get like arrow into grab into down throw up air.
You can also charge this for more damage.
And I think it actually starts true comboing at like 90, which is like the percent where, or like 80, 85, 87 specifically. There we go. So like 87 is where it starts comboing. Then you can just get into like down throw back air, or you know, later percents down throw up air, which is fucking awesome.
I mean, you can turn around to kind of hold it infinitely.
You can hold it pretty much infinitely, yeah.
And
I think I've held it for about like 30-ish seconds, maybe more. But there's ways of just jiggling it, going back and forth in the analog stick, then going up a little bit. The Buzz non-lame character guide. True. Honestly, like I gave this, you know, this a very hard time, and I wanted to give it a fair assessment as an experienced player, you know.
It's a pretty basic projectile as far as things go in neutral, to be honest. Just kind of annoy people with this. Force approaches with this and punish people like dashing at the wrong time. Use the angling to kind of like jump over projectiles and counterplay them.
True.
It is pretty fast and not too much lag, so it's hard to punish if someone like doesn't.
No, it's definitely easy as fuck to punish. You just have to get close to him. The main thing is like after you are in the position to get close, like there's a specific like angle that Pick just can't cover with his arrow. So if you're about right where that tower block is, like right there, like hold up, pretty much right. I'm gonna use like snipping tools to show you.
Rush you down. Combine that with
Yeah,
your
pretty
down B,
much
lets
like
you out camp a lot of
pretty much
characters.
like right there.
Because this is a pretty fast
This pillar right
reflector
here.
with not too much end lag. But also
If you're in that
stops
position right
attacks in
there,
front.
if you're at that position right there, then he really can't hit you with the arrow at all. But yeah, orbital's really fucking annoying, but you're never really gonna do it grounded like that unless you know somebody's gonna hit you with a strong attack, and you really just want to get a guaranteed F smash off of it. You know, that's pretty much the only position you do it in.
Too much end lag.
But,
Your down B, like someone like.
But yeah, arrows, they're minus I think 17 or some shit. Let me double check. If I know this by heart, I'm fucking. Oh no, it's minus 20. I'm stupid. I was close. It's minus 20. But yeah, arrows are
Rush
minus
you
20.
down. Combine that with your down B, lets you out camp a lot of characters. Because this is
He's just a fucking annoying.
a pretty fast reflector with not too much end lag.
Yeah, it doesn't have any in like. Oh fuck! It's frame 7. What the fuck? I didn't know that. It's fast and it's safe as fuck. Oh, that's gross.
But also stops attacks in front. So you can use it when you're not sure if someone's gonna like dash attack you versus using a projectile. It makes it very hard to out camp Pit when he has this plus arrows. Now, let's talk about his advantage state. So, for the ledge trapping, I know I keep mentioning neutral air, but it's just that good of a move.
Let's see what he
Like, if
does.
someone's at the ledge, and you're just neutral airing them, this can cover jump very easily. You can actually react to someone doing regular getup, even online I've noticed. And you can do it in there as a
Proceeds to not ledge trap him
reaction
at all
regular
or edge guard him at all.
getup. You can always nair backwards to cover the roll. You can always
I wouldn't. I see what he means, that you can do that, but it's better to actually. It's way more optimal to actually go for those grabs off of reaction, especially depending on guys. Pit is not honest. He has air shields. True.
nair like off stage if someone wants to like ledge trap aerial.
He's not really hitting the angles that I would in those positions to go for the edge guards. You basically want to fall on top of your opponent, and he actually did this back when he played against me, where he basically fell on top of me to edge guard, and that's how I actually learned how to do it. Just being way more ambitious to actually get edge guards on certain characters by just like falling on top of them with nair is really good because it can fuck up their recovery angles, even in the Ditto too. Because I do that shit a lot, where I basically fall on top of my opponent and I nair them until they recover horizontally, and then I can go for like a guaranteed ledge trump or a guaranteed like another nair, a guaranteed back air, guaranteed fair, just a lot of shit. Guaranteed down air for it really just depends. You play with Dabuz? Yeah, I did. It was a Juggernaut battle. Or no. I actually played him after the Juggernaut battle because I wasn't in that. And I just like he was already warm, so I'm like, oh, let's play. And we played like I think we played like 2 games. Or we either played 2 games or we played a set. I can't remember. And I think I lost. But I think my dad called me for one of the games, but I could have definitely fucking beat him, dude. I was so mad. Games were close though.
Aerial. Like that even. Get up attack tends to beat this move. But that's fine. You can make that on punish really hard. And you basically use this move to condition people at the ledge. And then we
Yeah, you do actually. That's
them.
true.
You'll punish them by using forward tilt as like a hard read.
No, you will not, Dabuz. No, the fuck you will not use forward tilt as a hard read. You've lost your damn mind. You will not use forward tilt as a hard read. You will only really use that, I guess, for like neutral get up. But even then, you know, neutral. I'll even explain this because F tilt. Where the fuck is F tilt? Where the fuck is F tilt? F tilt, frame 10, is the same fucking thing, or the same startup as forward smash. You see? So you're way more likely to just go for the fucking forward smash and not the F tilt, unless you're just straight up buffering it. And it kills earlier. But no, you will not do that, Mr. Dabuz. You can go for down smash on a lot of reactions too, or just go for a pivot grab, which is really, really good. But you can react for pivot grab really, really well. Or even go for like down tilt up air for a lot of cases. But most of the time, like you can space pretty much whatever the fuck you want on the opponent, to be honest. But F tilt is probably like the least optimal thing you can do in that situation. You can even go for like short hop back airs too on ledge too.
On regular get up or get up attack. Or even like
You will not be getting Dabuz, no. You will not be getting neutral, like you will not be getting F tilt for fucking get up attack. I think I've hit that like once. That is not a thing you can't rely on. Hold up.
like a move back bid to cover ledge roll. punches ledge drop. You can use like down smash, punish someone holding ledge.
You should not be ledge trapping somebody with F tilt. There's so many better moves. Down tilt is literally like the move that you want to use for a lot of cases. In spaced aerials like back air, forward air, or just like conditioning some, like you can cover an entire like neutral get up with forward air, back air, mainly forward air, nair 2, down tilt, down smash, which is really good. I wouldn't say up tilt. Up tilt really only covers jumps. Up air also is really good for ledge trapping, but he doesn't really mention that. That's really more if you know that your opponent's going to jump from ledge. Nair is also like from short hop to full hop, covers different things. Nair with short hop is going to cover neutral get up, and or roll like with retreating, which you won't really be able to get all the hits to connect anyways because of the fact that like by the time you have a Nair out covering the roll, you're already going to be within like the last like 2 frames of the move basically. So you're only getting those 2 launch hits, which aren't really going to push the opponent far enough away to actually make anything meaningful. So chances are they're going to end up right back on ledge in the first place. So plus you'd only get like 6%, like 5-6% off that. So yeah, F tilt wouldn't really be good. I'm just going over like most of the things that you'll be able to get off of ledge.
Ledge is actually very good for killing.
Yeah, down smash is actually really good for covering like neutral get-ups if you can time it correctly. But down smash is just really fucking good for ledge trapping in general.
Small note, by the way, there's a sweet spot of down smash up close, and a sour spot at the tipper.
I thought it was the opposite. Oh, no. He's right. I'm looking at this shit wrong. Yeah, he's right.
Of it. And the sweet spot does a lot more damage and kill power. It's a down smash covers ledge hold, and goes cover ledge roll. Forward smash is a very hard read on ledge roll or like get up attack if you block it.
I mean, forward smash and F tilt have the same amount. Forward smash and F tilt have the same startup, so why is F tilt better and F smash is more committal? I mean, I guess that it's like 6 frames, you know, it has 6 more frames of end lag, but like
Up smash is a hard read on ledge jump.
Then don't
Forward
do it.
air is also good read
What about up tilt then? If it's a hard read.
on ledge jump. Side
Also, you want to be covering ledge jumps with nair.
B is a just
Because forward air is too narrow.
throw it out there option you want to like kill people.
Don't do that. You can do that with dark pit, I guess, for specific things, but as pit, you're gonna actually want to be doing that like from ledge a lot more than you would be to get somebody like on ledge.
Potentially.
Because most people are gonna be in defensive positions anyways. So 9 times out of 10, you're just gonna get like either they're gonna avoid that shit and you're gonna be pushed into disadvantage off stage, or you're basically going to be like shielded and then just put off stage. So I wouldn't really do that.
And then finally, I can use like down air to kind of cover someone holding ledge.
Don't do that either. I mean, you can do it. I see what he means. There's actually variations. You can do down air into like nair, which is really good on certain like ledge hang, which is pretty good. Really just depends on your positioning. Down air also spikes like if the active frames aren't there anymore. It really just depends on like what percent they're at. But if they're like if they're in that position on their own, like if I see a pit in that position above me on ledge, I would buffer roll so fucking fast. So by the time that actually hits, I'm gonna be in advantage, and you're gonna be, you know, committing to that.
And potentially cover like ledge jump or even regular get up.
I wouldn't do that because in that position, like ledge jump, like you're not actually covering. Hold up.
Even regular get up. And yeah, so.
Hold up. Where the fuck is it at? Where was
Read
it?
on ledge jump. Side B is a just throw it out there option you want to like kill people potentially.
That's only for dark pit, but yeah.
And then finally, I can use like down air to kind of cover someone holding ledge.
Yeah.
And potentially cover like ledge jump.
But yeah, this wouldn't really cover ledge jump though.
Even regular get up.
Yeah, that wouldn't really cover ledge jump.
And yeah, so pretty versatile ledge game. Is just make sure you condition people with nair first before you start going for the harder read moves. Because where nair is very safe.
That's true.
The other options I mentioned are a little bit more committal.
True.
And really, pretty much all of his kit can be used for the ledge.
No. You're not gonna be using F tilt on ledge, sir. Or up air. I mean, up air. That's like more of a call out. I think F tilt's like the only thing I personally wouldn't use for ledge. But yeah, pretty much everything else is correct. He didn't even mention up tilt, which is weird though, because he mentioned it every whatever.
Just whatever you feel comfortable with. Oh, I personally like down tilt a lot as well. I should mention that.
Down tilt's really good, but up tilt is better.
Now, when it comes to...
Because down tilt can't actually... The thing about down tilt is that it can't cover... It only really covers people overshooting ledge. It doesn't cover... It doesn't two-frame or anything.
To his off-stage game, it's very matchup dependent, so I can't go too in-depth on this. But the general things you're going to do are going to be... Versus characters like, let's say, Mario, for example, with that up B that hits you, and it's hard to challenge. Doing ledge jump down air to two-frame that is really good.
Is it? Oh, I've never seen any person do that in my life.
Not gonna be reliable for spiking or anything, but it's just a safe way to potentially kill people.
Why don't you just nair?
And then you go to a ledge trap afterwards, which is really nice.
I wouldn't really do that.
Versus characters like DK or Bowser, you want to use fast fall fair to kind of cover.
I definitely wouldn't do that either. Actually, yeah, I would.
When they're gonna up B, because actually outrange a lot of those.
If I'm right above my opponent, I'm going for either a nair or a spike, depending on the position. Against DK, I'd probably go for the down air if it's free as fuck. Like if I'm directly above DK, like and they're like that low, then I'm gonna go for down air. If I know they haven't buffered anything yet. If I see the animation, then I'm basically gonna go for nair. If I don't feel confident enough to actually go for the down air. But I don't normally fair. You'd have to really be like landing on, like this is basically DK right here. Or wait, hold up. There we go. This is DK right here. This is me. So he's coming back to ledge and shit. He's going over to ledge. Then I'm like have to But like with fair and shit, that would be kind of awkward because then you have to go like land on top of him and hit his head instead of his hands because his hands don't have a hurt box.
Recoveries are coming from the side with the hitbox is not too ridiculous.
Yes, it is. You don't outrange that shit.
Multi-hit, it's very easy to time as long as you fast fall and space yourself right to hit someone doing that.
Yeah, that is good though.
And it would be like probably your main edge guard in a lot of matchups.
You actually want to go for nair in a lot of matchups. Like nair, I don't even feel confident going for nair in a lot of cases because of how low it sends me in certain positions. But it's still effective. Like if your opponent's that far off stage, that'll just fuck around and kill him. But also arrow, he's not mentioning arrows for edge guarding at all either, which is kind of strange.
And then versus characters with no hitbox in the recovery, think like Talutan's teleport, Sonic up B. This is really good.
Yeah.
Nairing like right above the ledge. Keep in mind, since you have multiple jumps and you're a slow faller, you can stay off stage very long, so you can wait out almost anyone recovering.
And he only did one nair there.
Like you actually just.
What's really good too is basically going for what you can do is basically ledge trump, or not ledge trump, but basically ledge snap into and like fall off ledge with like arrow, then just keep mashing nair in around that spot. That's a really good thing because it forces the opponent to recover high and really fast. So yeah, pretty much it's a really good conditioning tool. Then you can just ledge snap again, like on reaction, whatever the fuck they land on ledge. Then end up getting like a ledge drop up air, or ledge drop down air, ledge drop back air, depending on like how they DI.
Outweight the entire cast, and then your recovery is very good. And yeah, those are your main edge guard tools. I'd say you can use arrows as well, which are interesting. You generally use arrows if you have time to. If someone's close to the ledge, using an arrow is gonna be a waste.
He's not jumping with it though. If you short hop around where that like second circle is right there, like you see the first circle like nearest to the ledge, like with the window, the smaller one right there, you can basically cover pretty much people like almost immediately going to ledge. There's angles that like Pit's really good at hitting, but you just have to know like how to initiate the curve properly. But his arrows are really fucking good though. I will say, like, if you really want to get an edge guard on somebody, definitely if you're in positions for like ledge trumping, not ledge trumping, but ledge trapping. Like that's pretty much where arrows are gonna hit people like on ledge, which is really good if you do a short hop variant.
But if someone's like farther off stage, arrows are pretty good to kind of not only stop their momentum in the air.
I mean, yeah, they're good for stopping momentum, but people with matchup experience are gonna know not to jump there, then just to wait for a pit to actually get close, then just start like utilizing their hitbox. Holding up too is really good in this position because pit's not really gonna like fuck around and kill you. If he's forced to use up air, then you're basically in a situation where now you can kind of like get more momentum, especially with plats. If you're on FD, it's kind of bad, but if you're holding up, you have the ability to basically have more freedom with landing on platforms. And then you just kind of have to basically play around Pit's up air. But his airspeed on most of the cast isn't good enough to actually catch people in those positions, so you got a good shot. Being on ledge against Pit is kind of scary, especially against a good one, but I think he'll be okay.
But you can use the cover for recovery.
Those
like,
pits are
you do it
bad.
Upwards, and the opponent jumps into it, that's bad. Or if they don't jump, you force them low, right? And
Yeah, pretty
opposite for
much.
low. You do it low, they have to jump, or they take the hit. That's not
You can actually position arrows way closer to ledge than that. It's just that he doesn't understand like jumping than like shooting the arrow. If he like, oh, I'll even show this because it's pretty fun to explain. I'll just go into training mode and just explain this real quick because it is very it's kind of important for people to know this. And I'm not gonna have sound, but I'm just gonna like show like how far his arrows actually go. Okay. And I'll go on FD because hold on, what the fuck is that? I don't even know what stage that is. It's not Castle C, just like the other Fire Emblem stage. Yeah, reset Bomb Forest. And I'll go like blue pit though, so you guys can know it's actually me. And I'll go against Mario, because why not? Most pits don't even practice the parry and fall victim to the honest agenda. That's what I'm saying. I like Dabuz. But yeah, basically when you're like right here, you can go for, hold on, I'm gonna fix the angle so you guys can actually see. Okay, where the fuck's that? Where the fuck is that bitch at? I'm trying to find the camera. Forgot how to change the camera. Am I stupid or something? There it is. There we go. Okay, so check it. If you're like right here, you can cover pretty much all this. Like, you can cover all this area. And Dabuz doesn't really realize that. It's harder to do this with like latency, but yeah, you can basically fucking kill people even if they're like really by ledge. He's just kind of going like this and limiting himself to that. But if you're in the air, you have a lot more momentum. That's what I was saying about the beer verses. Like there's a lot of ways to just fuck around and hit people even under ledge, which are really good for Pit's neutral or his ledge trapping. But yeah, that's just something that I wanted to tell people. And that's what I was trying to explain in that position when he was going over arrows. Anyways, back to it.
it's not good. And you can jump with the arrows, then chase people aggressively, right? Like if you do
Like
that.
he's mentioning jumping arrows and chasing people aggressively, but he's not mentioning the actual other angles that you can get in those positions with Pit.
Stop someone's momentum and then you're chasing aggressively, that can be really good.
That arrow ain't hitting nobody, Dabuz. What the fuck was that? That nigga, he's got that shit hitting somebody in Timbuktu. This nigga's playing doubles, bro. Such as bad multi-hits, which can work around with simple understanding and practice of his hitboxes. Nothing crazy, cheesy orbitals to help with landing. Yeah, exactly. People don't realize that Pit has some of the best landing in the game, and his multi-hits are actually really fucking good. They're just precise. Like, I get really upset when people don't understand how the character works. I will say, like, pivot F smashing should have been fixed a while ago, because pivot, like, smash attacks for Pit are so fucking bad. Because you can do pivot F smash and people fall out of the second hit just because of how the game works.
And mainly if you hit an arrow, you should try to follow up off of it with more arrows or an edge guard. And if you miss it, don't shoot more arrows. Like after you miss the first arrow, commit to either your edge guard, or if you can't get that,
I mean, it doesn't really fucking matter, just as long as you don't put yourself in a position where, like, you're putting yourself in disadvantage. Like, you can still shoot 2 arrows off stage. Just make sure that you're actually in a position where you're still in advantage state.
Let's go for the ledge trap.
Like, it isn't, because I've shot like multiple arrows. Like, I'll hit 3 in a row, miss one. Do I stop shooting arrows? Like, come on. I've had someone fall out of my moves due to bad positioning. Yeah, same.
And your edge and arrows are more
Like, at least when I fuck up something, I know what I did wrong. And people usually get really mad at people falling out of pit nair, but I'm just like, you're doing retreating like full hop, like you're doing basically like slingshot back air or like slingshot nair, and wondering why people are falling out of it when they're holding out. Like, you're not going towards your opponent, and that's why. So it's not like your opponent's gonna stay in the move if you're away from them. It's just strange.
Bonus than anything else, I'd say, for edge guarding, but they can set up kills. And in some matchups, they would just kill by themselves, like fighting ice climbers. Hit it with an arrow, they're probably just dead, actually.
Oh, true. That is true. But there's also so many other ways of killing that character. It's not even funny. You can literally just like, in certain cases, you can trade nair with their up B, and like if they make it back, like if one of the ice climbers makes it back, the other one may not make it back. It's weird actually understanding how to fight certain characters, because Pit has to know so much about certain characters in order to like be effective. Just bad misunderstanding of this character that frustrates me when people talk about him. True. Like, Dabuz got mad at me for like, or a lot of us, for basically saying his guide's bad. It's not bad, but it could just be better. And I feel like making a guide, you know, like a month or 2 after you actually play the character is kind of weird. It's kind of weird because you don't have like, you understand how to play neutral with the character, but you don't understand the character's neutral to the point where like you can teach it to other people optimally. That's just all I say. Like, Dabuz can be a better player than me and, you know, beat me in more games with Pit, but I still know how to teach people how to play the fucking character. And most people, like, even in my States Discord, they were like, oh, so you just assume that his thing's bad. Like, Dabuz is better than you. I'm just like, I know he's a fucking better player. Doesn't mean that his Pit, like, is a better Pit. He's like, well, I literally saw him play Pit, like, the other day. I'm just like, dude, that shit was, like, 2 years ago, dog. Shit was literally 2 years ago. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
So that's really useful. Now, for Jug...
I just don't like when people assume that other people know more about a character than you do just because another person plays a character for 2 months and is a better player than you. That's just kind of strange. Like, I can understand gaining knowledge and perspective and getting good results, but I don't know. That just frustrates me for sure.
Juggling. This character mainly just uses up air to juggle.
No, he doesn't.
His up air actually is destroying.
He uses down tilt a lot and up tilt a lot to juggle, but he does not use up throw to juggle. Like, in that position right there, you basically want to go for like down throw back air. I'm not sure what the fuck.
Up air to juggle.
Oh, actually no. You still want to go for down throw up to, either down throw down air back air, or down throw down air up air in that position. Yeah, I don't know what he was saying with that one. That's strange. Like, I wouldn't use it for this in this position at all. Yeah, you don't use up throw like that.
His up air.
You can still use it in a lot of cases. Like if you're on a top platform with like 150 or some shit, and this is like pretty much the only thing that'll kill, sure. But I wouldn't use up throw in that position.
Actually is destroying from the side or directly above Pit. His hand is there during the up air, so you can easily challenge that.
I don't think that's right. Hold up. Yeah, no. It's still disjointed enough to be okay. I understand what he means by that, though.
Kind of like Palutena's up air. We want to drift to both sides.
Palutena's fucking up air is broken. What is he talking about? That shit is huge. You can't challenge Palu's up air with the fucking down air. You'll die.
And hit him with the side of your up air to be uncontestable with your juggling. And this is just your main.
Stop. Oh my fucking god. He could have killed him like 3 times. You could have literally killed him like 3 times there. Holy shit, Dabuz. No, you don't want to go for up. You don't want to be going for up throw in those positions. You want to be pushing your opponent off stage to get an edge guard, or going for down throw up air, which will be true in a lot of cases, or force the opponent into a position where they can get hit by, that's right, forward air. But not back air, because back air won't work at the percent.
Juggling move. Comes out fast,
But
lingers.
no, you won't be doing, like, this is not optimal.
Nice hitbox range. Kill, does good damage.
This,
And you're gonna use that with your
you will
multi-jump
not
swap.
be, yeah, I was going to say up tilt up air is a thing, but you will not be doing that shit. Like, you see he's at 143, it's still not
To
dead.
juggle.
This shit's only really useful, like, with platforms. But I can understand
It's
what it
actually
means.
important at lower percents to try.
What the fuck? This is why I roasted this. What the fuck? This is why I roasted this shit. Now I remember. Nah. You're not gonna be doing fucking up throw up air. What the
It's
hell?
actually important at lower percents to try and stay
That shit wasn't even true. At 0.
on top of people. Off stage actually, because you can do things like
You can do, like, you could have done, hold up. I'll go back to a combo. God damn it. I actually have to go back to this fucking game again. If you don't want to fucking, like, hold up. If you don't actually want to do that, you can do this. Oh, wait, hold up. I did the wrong throw. If you don't want to do up throw into, like, fake shit, whatever, you can go for that shit. Like that, no. This, yes. Good luck getting out of that shit. Even if it doesn't register as true, I promise you. I promise to God, it's pretty much true.
you can chase people very aggressively off stage at low percents.
You're better off doing down throw 50-50 at high percents or down. Exactly. I don't know why the fuck you do that at that percent.
With your multi jumps.
But yeah, this is good though. You can
And
jump
use
out of
your
it.
multi jumps to juggle people aggressively, right?
No.
And stay on top of them. And you really
No.
want to do that,
You would not want to do that.
right? And stay on top.
Did he just do down tilt? Did he do down throw up
And you can
smash?
use your multi jumps to juggle people aggressively.
Bruh, no. You would not do up throw and out. Those are like, no. Dabuz, this is where I fucking roasted him. Jesus Christ. You would not be doing this, Dabuz.
Right? And stay on top of them.
That wasn't even
And
true.
you really want to do that.
Or anywhere close to true.
And then your other juggle moves like up tilt and up smash are
Yeah, up tilt's good as a juggling move, but that's what you're going to be using in place of the fucking up throw that you keep doing for some reason. Like, the reward that you get off up tilt is going to be pretty much a guaranteed nair or up air. That just is what it is, and it can confirm from up tilt into drag into falling up air into up smash, or drag, or which is even funnier, up tilt into falling up air into up tilt into fucking up air. But no, you're not going to be doing up throw into anything because nothing from up throw is true.
aren't as particularly good.
Everything else was solid though, but yeah, this is just no.
Up smash doesn't actually have as much of a additional as you think.
It doesn't. It's just really fucking, it's really narrow. It's long, but it's narrow, so it can't really be used as an effective out of shield option in most cases. Unless the dude is like on your dick for some reason. You'd have to like hard miss space at a kill percent in order for this move to actually be effective. Or just get hit by down air and miss the tech.
Because of his hands once again. And it only hits like above him well. It doesn't hit in front of him too well.
It does
It's
not.
like that misses. You have to be really close to up smash to
Yeah.
people in front of you, which is very important to note as a kill option out of shield. In general, like someone hits your shield close with like a -7 move or -6 move.
Nah, it's even slower than that shit,
No,
dog.
-7. It kills pretty early.
-8 or -9
It's not
probably.
But yeah, so like even for juggling, the hitboxes don't linger. The hitboxes aren't that great. And this is more of a hard move on the juggling.
What the fuck is that? Stop doing that. Holy shit. Just throw him off stage. Or down throw up air. He would have been dead anyways. Holy shit.
Than anything else, but it is a good way to end stocks.
No.
When you know someone's gonna be right above you, not air dodging through the attack. They're like trying to challenge with an attack, they can't challenge it. They're gonna whiff something, they're just not gonna air dodge. Or
Jesus
if
Christ.
there's a platform, this is extremely good underneath platforms because it's rare to challenge this move through a platform for most of the cast.
That's true.
And
This,
then up tilt,
it's really good for missed text. Like if you know the opponent's gonna miss attack, I guess like at a kill percent, sure you can go for that. But even then, like, what would even put somebody in a position to be in a text situation at a kill percent? Like if you were at a kill percent for up smash, you know? So up tilt is usually going to be what you want to get off of Miss Tex anyways. So this is...
It's actually a pretty good move at what it does. It has no disjoint real or very low disjoint. Comes out very fast. Low end leg.
It's a good ass fucking move. What do you mean?
Even at kill percents, you will get like up tilt into nair at low percents and a higher percent. So you can do like up tilt up air and it kills.
I was like, whoa, 170. Relax.
Very reliable move.
Yeah, it's good.
And I like using this move a lot.
It starts killing at like 120, I think. About 120.
Know someone's not gonna land with the disjoint, and it's just gonna land with either an air dodge that can do this, cover the air dodge, and then like
120,
punish with down
125
tilt if the air dodge passed it. I was finding pretty good neutral for that reason to like kind of call out jumps, like run up tilt can be pretty.
It's not safe though.
Situationally good.
Situationally good.
And yeah, I can't.
He's not. I don't think he's actually taught me how to approach neutral with this character, to be honest. That's like my biggest thing. Like, from watching this video, I have no sense of what the fuck to do in neutral as this character. It's just like, oh, he's telling me how the moves work. But what is my game plan in order to rack up percent and actually get from point A to point B of starting a combo and winning neutral and fucking killing my opponent? Like, he hasn't taught me that with this character. And Pit's like one of the easiest characters to actually do that with. So that's why I'm really confused. So his whole basis of like basics and game plan don't actually help me from the perspective of a new player. Because even as a fucking like good player with this character, I haven't figured out how the fuck to actually kill with this character consistently. Or like figure out follow-ups of actually how to get in positions to kill with this character. Or rack up percent consistently. Because most of the shit that he's been teaching me is like tech chases and reads and shit. It's just strange.
I think I made two specific uses for this move. But like you'll kind of play around this character and feel out, oh, up tilt should be good here.
I feel like he really should have been on a stage 2 that has platforms. Like being in a stage that you can utilize all your platform stuff, actually showing how drag downs work on specific stages would be really, really good. Just showing how to, but he hasn't even done down throw. I think he has done down throw, down air, and air, but like just once. And it hasn't even like established it as a bread and butter for some reason.
And they use it. And now, what about his disadvantage? His
disadvantage doesn't fucking exist. It's a myth.
Is pretty good. When you're being juggled, just jumping away with your multi-jumps to the ledge is generally a good option. You know what I do? That or I go to platforms.
What?
You can also use your multi-jumps though against
what?
Like, depending on your opponent.
Where's orbitals?
Read the type of opponent you're fighting against.
Where's orbitals, dog?
But you use your multi-jumps.
No shot. He didn't fucking mention orbitals.
Evade their juggles and be like, oh, okay, you missed a juggle. Multi-jump way.
Bruh.
Pretty basic. Use your platforms as
Where's
well.
orbitals?
Going to the ledge is always a very good option for Pit, honestly.
What the fuck?
Not amazing, but it's good.
Where's orbitals, dog?
Pretty easy thing to go for in general. So that's nice. You can also use down B as landing option.
Okay, there we go.
And that's pretty good because of B reverses. But like,
that's better, to be honest. That's like the best thing you can do to land. What?
His legs are vulnerable during their move.
Yeah, but you can B reverse it, so it doesn't fucking matter.
Grab them during the landing, and a lot of attacks are safe enough to just mash on down B.
No, they're not.
So it's situationally good for slower attacks.
No, this move is fucking broken. This move is broken, Dabuz. What in the fuck?
Slower characters, and characters with like really low grab range.
Bruh.
And gear versus projectiles, obviously.
You're not gonna be land like the 5 frames that they shaved off of this move's end lag make this shit broken as fuck. Like, this move is literally -5, dog. Come on.
And the main thing about Pit is you don't want to land top people with attacks because he doesn't have arcing forward air or back air.
What about down air?
His nair isn't quite big enough.
What about down air?
Especially not from below.
What about down
air? Is not big enough either. It looks kind of big, but it really isn't. So it's not that good for landing either. It's also not that good on block if you like up here, for example.
It's safe as fuck on block. What? That move is safe as fuck on block.
Yeah, you generally can't challenge people on landing too well.
I do agree you can't challenge people on landing, but you can bait out like whiffs of people in the air with down air camping for certain characters. But most of the cast can just kind of outrange that shit, I will admit. So his ground game is a lot better, but you can also like bait out like that kind of shit with orbitals too. That's what makes it so good. Did he use up B to escape disadvantage? I think it was buffered. I think up B was buffered.
Now, when you're off stage, you have a lot more options. And in fact, going off stage is really good.
Dude, you would die. You would die if you were in that position. You can't just your opponent's not just gonna let you get back to stage like that, Dabuz.
Because his options there are so good. Like, your opponent has to outplay off stage. You can stay off stage
What?
longer than most characters can because you have multi-jumps.
Dude, Mario could cape your ass right before you're recovering. You just die at 0. Please, Dabuz. You
have multiple recoveries.
You have multiple recovery routes, yes. Pretty much like from 0 to like, I think it's like 0 to like 30. No, it's like 45, 40 degrees. That's pretty much like his route basically, which is great. Like he has so much mix, it's not even fucking funny. Like he has straight up to like right around here. So like straight up to like right around here is his recovery. So straight up, then right around there. But it's not like quite level. It's like 45 degrees pretty much that he can cover with his recovery. Of course he can go the other way and shit too, but it's not really gonna be, you're not gonna go down and you're not gonna go like directly left to right. You're actually doing it, yeah. +2 framing with dash attack and such. Yeah, it's just the character, like Mario has a bunch of stuff. Then ledge trumping too is really fucking good against Pit.
With up B like that.
But yeah, you're just not gonna come back to stage like that easily. He's hyping people up.
To the side, for example. To
Yeah,
kinda, like glide along the
side
wall,
B is really good.
Yeah,
side B. There's a lot of recovery things. I'm not gonna show it because I really don't feel like it. But you can hug wall for like a small period of time to avoid a lot of like spikes. Like Pyra Mithra just going for like, you know, Pyra going for that fucking down air and shit that's broken as fuck and needs to be nerfed. You can hug wall for like a split second, then bring yourself back up in order to mix up your timing slightly. Side B is really good. Like pretty much recovery from like straight up to like all, oh fuck, I'm doing it the wrong way. From like all the way, am I doing this shit backwards? So recover straight up to like, god damn it. Recovery from here to like here pretty much is going to be like the position that you can recover from like that side of ledge to like the other. So like there, like pretty much straight down like that is basically your entire recovery path, which is pretty cool.
Bit. You can always side B, use the armor.
Yeah, side B is good, but the armor actually isn't as long as people think. In the position that he was in for that, the armor probably would have ended right before he actually hit ledge.
Guards. You can use the
so he can get spiked. Yeah, arrows are like the main thing you're gonna use in a lot of cases to get people off of ledge trapping you, which is great. And of course, ledge drop aerials are really fucking good. Ledge drop orbitals, ledge drop fair, ledge drop back air, ledge drop nair, ledge drop up air. There's so many variations of things that you can use off ledge. Ledge drop arrow even. If you're in a position where your opponent's like in like roll distance, you can ledge drop. You can actually ledge drop. I'll even show this because it's pretty cool. He has a lot of shit that he can do though. I hate doing this though. He has a lot of shit though. Of course, you can do like. I'll turn on my. How about this? I'll turn on some sound too for you guys. There's a lot of stuff you can do though. But yeah. Let's drop back here. Let's drop back here. Come back. I fucked up. There's like slight delay, but it's okay. Let's drop fair. I did some ledge drop back airs. Let's drop orbitals. Let's drop arrow into fair. Let's drop down air. Hold up. Let's drop up air, which I like to use a lot. But yeah, you're mainly gonna be using let's drop back air and forward air and different shit like that. From like, it's really good. But there's like plenty of shit you can do. There's plenty of shit you can do.
To set up recoveries, because if someone has to block an arrow, like let's say off stage,
ledge dropping is really good for Pit though.
The moment they have to block the arrow, get hit by it, you just up B. You're home scot free. They can't do anything about it.
I wouldn't say that, but you are in like a way better position. I wouldn't say you're scot free because they're still like reacting to whatever ledge option you do. But unless you're doing like ledge drop, unless you're doing like full hop orbital, you're not safe. You're not safe, dog. But
It's
with platforms, I will admit, like Pickett's significantly better on platforms, but it's just like he's super limited on ledge. But orbitals kind of just make it to where he's so fucking annoying to play against.
so
It's
safe.
not even funny.
So that's really good. You have up air to stall the ledge with, and kind of
You can't really stall ledge because you'll regrab and just die. Like you can't really stall ledge as Pit because you will get hit. His disjoints aren't big enough because if he goes for like mashing that on somebody just shielding on ledge, because I've done it multiple times and played against it, you will just get like down smash or some shit or ledge trump, mainly down smash because it's a regrab. So you have to keep that in mind.
ledge there. And it ends up being really hard to go off stage and edge guard Pit. But also
I will admit that is true, but it really just depends on the kind of read you're getting because it really just depends on what you're going for.
set the ledge and try to like cover Pit. The main thing is don't stay off stage too long, because if you're forced to up B at like far range, it's pretty easy to spike or 2-frame. So you kind of want to like up B when your opponent, or side B or air dodge or whatever, when your opponent can't cover it,
Yeah.
or if your opponent commits to an edge guard.
Yeah, never really air dodge with Pit on ledge either. But people fall into the habit of like instead of using their up B to recover horizontally, they'll just side B from like roll range, like roll distance off stage, which can get them like just super fucked up, which I find hilarious. A lot of like mediocre Pit players fall into that habit though, which I try to help them with, but damn, they are just ugh.
Like too early or just misses it or something. Like look for your openings, and ideally get close enough to a ledge that your up B is unreactable. Because like this,
Yeah.
pretty easy to punish, right?
I wouldn't even say that's easy to punish, to be honest. I wouldn't say that's easy to punish unless your opponent's like godlike. I wouldn't even say that's easy to punish. I'd say the easiest thing to punish is like straight horizontally. Vertically is actually probably the best thing that you can do though. That's just me. Or hugging ledge and getting that diagonal like this. Oh fuck, getting that diagonal this way. You can down smash side B to ledge, which is why you need to be careful using it. Yeah, exactly.
But this, too fast. One of the other mix-ups, you're not edge guarding that. And then finally for the ledge, his ledge game is pretty good. Because of his multi-jumps, he can always just ledge jump and then go into the landing mix-ups we talked about before.
He does have landing mix-ups.
Jump backwards and go for like recovery.
But if you jump off ledge, then go back to recovery moves, your opponent can literally just like regrab. They can just catch the regrab.
Mix-ups.
But yeah, your opponent is not gonna let you just fucking do that shit.
The ledge up fair is surprisingly good.
But yeah, like now you have no armor frame. Like now you have no iframes, so you're getting fucking caught for the regrab. Like regardless of how many pokes you throw out and shit, it's not gonna do enough shield damage to actually make your opponent stop shielding. You know. So like by the time you grab ledge again, you're basically, or do a high side B recovery for some fucking reason, you're gonna get punished regardless. So doing that really isn't the best option.
He has pretty decent ledge roll, get up.
I don't even think he mentioned. I don't even think he mentioned the edge cancel with side B. I think he figured that shit out like really long. Like he figured that shit out, but he wasn't using it, and he was like super hyped about it. I'm like, I think he actually found that out in the Juggernaut battle that we did a while back.
Etc. Nothing crazy. And then I like doing ledge drop side blast mix up.
I knew it. God damn it. He's so fucking. Oh my
it
God.
punches through attacks. If someone blocks the move, they have to kind of react to where you're drifting, which is.
I mean, they can. Like Mario can do that shit.
It's especially hard online, which is where most of us are playing nowadays. So
Not anymore,
you
Dabuz.
can always drift backwards.
Old man.
Or drift forwards with that move.
Yeah, that shit's not safe though. Like Mario can get a fucking like up air out of shield on that shit. It's good though against specific characters, but if you're ready for the punish, like K. Rool forward air out of shield, that shit will like it hurts. Be careful.
And it just ends up being a really annoying move to deal with. And then ledge drop nair is really
Yeah,
good.
ledge drops are
Also,
really good. I'm glad he's mentioning those. Ledge drop nair is good, but it's not actually safe, so you have to be careful. If your opponent has a full shield and you do ledge drop nair, you're gonna get punished. If you can do a space ledge drop fair, like you can even do like fair in a side B, which is actually a lot more optimal because people aren't gonna expect like the drift of the side B in that specific situation. So there's a lot of nuance. Side B on a stage can work if you know you can take advantage, but 9 times out of 10 you're getting punished.
So yeah,
It's really dependent on like how you mix it up.
pretty good to do the multi jumps in the side B.
But yeah,
And
like
even
I said,
things
it's mainly a mix up.
honestly, like that can also be really annoying. Just be careful not to get caught re-grabbing the ledge when you do all these mix-ups.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, like you should know.
And yeah, I guess my
It's crazy that I'm like critiquing all the shit he's critiquing at the end. Just like, oh yeah, by the way, do this.
final thoughts and pitch is something I thought about, I should have mentioned, is I like as a ballsy move using a lot of side B. Like I use a lot of like regular get up side B as pit to just
Yeah, that is true. Most people will give him shit for that, but like that's actually a viable thing. When you're in a disadvantageous situation, the opponent's gonna be more likely to throw a hitbox out. So you can like if you know that your opponent that you and your opponent are both in like high percents and you haven't like mashed it multiple times, the opponent most times isn't gonna expect you to do an aggressive option like that. And the whiff back actually is really good too at the startup, like when you're coming back to avoid like dash grab. So yeah, so something to keep in mind.
kill people and jank them out, or even neutral. Give a hard read and someone pressing a button. Especially if someone's landing with like an aerial, like they burn the double jumps, they're landing with an aerial. This ends up being a really good option actually.
Yeah, it's really good, especially against like if your opponent just lands on you with some shit unspaced at like a high percent, that just flat out just fucking kills at like 120, like 130 I think is when it starts killing. 130, 135 on midweights. So you can just fucking kill people. And I think on a lot of the casts it's gonna be hold up. There's actually a fucking doc about it. Like what percent that actually works at. I think it's more or less like 140 though. So I'll double check just to make sure because it's pinned in metagame, but I just don't fucking look at it for some reason. Let me see. Yeah, I'm right. Like 120. 120 though. Hell, I'm glad I was right actually. Yeah, 120, 130. Let's go
Something
me.
I like using quite a bit with the character, as janky as it sounds. Yeah, that is my hopefully comprehensive yet basic pick guide. Hope everyone watching this video has a good idea of how
I'm
to
gonna
play the
take a
character
piss
now.
real quick.
And I'll be making more parts, talking about more.
He's only made another part to this, by the way, but I'll be right back. I gotta go take a piss, and I'm gonna give my final critique on it. Then we're gonna watch a second one. Okay. So all in all, there's good things in there, but there's bad things in there, and I critique them. But overall, I think Dabuz had a pretty surface level understanding of the character. He's a good player, and he understands how to utilize a lot of the tools in the kit and how to establish those into his play. But overall, getting a game plan for the game, even I'm thinking of it in the perspective of a person that's never played Pit before, and I'm still very confused on how to actually approach neutral with this character. I don't really know the basic things at low percents that I need to do in order to get my damage. I don't know how to find openings for the character, and if it's just like, oh yeah, you whiff punish with this. Okay, how do I do that? I don't know what the most optimal things in a lot of positions are. It's just kind of vague right now. I don't know what I should be doing for a lot of situations where I throw the opponent off stage. Okay, what's the best way I can kill my opponent? The best way I can secure stocks. It doesn't feel optimal. Like, that's a big thing for me. I get that you want to teach the basics and general game plan for the character, but I need to understand what it takes to actually, like, what I should be doing right. Or what I should be doing, the right thing, pretty much. In a lot of the situations that I'm in, because it just feels like, oh, you can kind of do this, you can kind of do that. And that's kind of my biggest problem that I have with the guide. Like, Dabuz does a good job of explaining, like, certain aspects, like, oh, you should be doing this and relating it to, like, things that he knows. But overall, establishing what I need to be doing if I was a Pit player that just wanted to play this character, or, like, a guy that just was trying to get better with Pit, this would not be the guide for me personally. That's my biggest thing. I do think that, a lot of aspects he finds out in hindsight with more experience. Like, even now, I think he could, like, definitely put out a better Pit guide, but just for me personally, I just don't find it that helpful. So, yeah, back to Galaxy Brain Part 2. This one is 9 minutes, by the way. I'm guessing it's just going to be the difference between Dark Pit and Pit. It's just going to be arrows and side B and how to utilize those. But yeah, personally, like, I'm not saying, like, oh, I'm a Pit guy. Oh, you already play the character, you should know. But I'm saying, like, I wouldn't recommend this guide to people actually trying to get better with Pit. If you like Dabuz and can find good things in there, you can find bits and pieces of good things to work on in there, but just, I'd actually choose Dante's combo shit over this, because it at least shows me, like, the optimal things in a lot of situations to go for, the combos, and, like, the things that I could use to kill my opponent. That's just me.
What's up, guys? So today, I'm finally continuing my Pit guide, and this time it's part 2. When would I choose Dark Pit things over Pit?
So this is actually an hour, or not an hour. This is basically an entire month after the first one. So he probably has a lot more perspective, and he's started to choose Dark Pit over Pit, which is great. Really good Pit that has mastered arrows is still hella scary. Play Pit on stages with small blast zones like Town. I prefer Pit over for the reason of that. If they're above me, I can juggle Pit arrows and tackle on more damage. That's true. He didn't even mention that. I forgot about that. Yeah, Pit is really, really good at using his arrows to force a lot more threatening juggling situations. But when he threw the opponent up in the air, he didn't really utilize arrow at all. I didn't even think about that, because I do that.
Because I talked a lot about Pit in my last guide, right? Obviously. So, let's get into it.
Alright,
Dark
buddy,
Pit
let's
has
go.
3 differences. First is the Final Smash
3
is different,
differences.
whatever.
Oh, who the fuck
The
cares?
second one is the side B is almost objectively better with Dark Pit than Pit.
I wouldn't say objectively better, but I see what he means. It's good. It's better for, like, when you're in advantage, and Pit's is better when you're in disadvantage.
There are exceptions, but Dark Pit side B sending sideways is nice for the character because he likes setting up edge guards and ledge traps.
I mean, both of them do, though.
And it will generally kill earlier, like near the middle of the stage, and of course near ledge, than Pit's will.
Was he at 0?
And the only time Pit's side B is really gonna kill earlier is when you're doing things like get up side B so like
Yeah,
you're across
pretty
the
much,
stage, or if you're on like a platform. And
I wouldn't even say that, to be honest. I wouldn't use it in those situations on
there's very
plants.
specific scenarios. So normally Dark Pit side B is just better. However, I don't think the Pit side B is going to be relevant for which character you choose in a matchup.
Yeah.
Unless it's some like specific jank, like maybe Pit side B scales better with Rage or something, say something like Sheik. You can actually jank more out with Pit side B than Dark
I
Pit's.
wouldn't even use it for that
Anyway,
situation. It's just mainly
I wanted to
arrows.
focus on today was the arrows because
Yeah.
that is what is
He's gonna spend 8 minutes talking about Pit and Dark Pit arrows. Holy shit.
difference maker between Dark Pit and Pit is.
Let's hear
So-
the buzz.
Dark Pit arrows. More damage, more knockback. I believe they fly faster, but they cannot be angled nearly as much. So
No, they cannot.
I personally like Dark Pit more. I play more Dark Pit. I find myself having more success with Dark Pit. And overall, it seems like, to me, Dark Pit's a better character, which makes sense because I think the Dark Pit arrows are good for making your neutral better character. Success with Dark Pit. And overall, it seems like, to me, Dark Pit's a better character, which makes sense because I think the Dark Pit arrows are good for making your neutral better as the pits.
I can see it.
So, let me just talk about scenarios where I would play Dark Pit in over Pit. And so, I would play Dark Pit in any matchup where I feel like the opponent has to approach me.
Yeah, true.
I feel like the opponent is a character that uses a lot of projectiles and I want to play counter projectile.
True, okay, that's true.
Or it is a matchup where the Pit arrows aren't going to be particularly useful for offstage play.
I mean, I can see what he means by that, yeah. Like Ike or some shit, like it's way better personally to use like Dark Pit arrows because you can just snipe those out. And side B is a lot better for contesting his side B, so the trade's gonna end up basically killing him way more times. Unless he perfectly spaces it near ledge and forces you into a tech situation. It's just, there's a lot to it, but yeah, for the most part, he's right about that.
So, that's actually a lot of matchups, right? Like, if I just think about matchups off the top of my head,
That's pretty much like, he's pretty much saying that fucking Dark Pit is just better in the current meta, which I agree with.
where it applies to Zelda. She's going to want to camp with knights, like setting those up. Try with
I wouldn't even say that specifically. I think I actually personally like regular Pit better in this matchup because it allows you to do a lot more with angling your arrows. And so you can basically angle arrows overnight while potentially snapping her and just finding better ways of like not having to play as grounded. Because if you if you try to counter camp this character, what are they going to do? They're going to knight, then they're going to fucking reflector. Okay? Damn. Now what? You're basically playing this weird counter projectile thing where it just makes the matchup like pretty much guaranteed even. There's not really anything in that sense that I could see like, oh, we outplay this character. Like, no, she's going to be finding ways of utilizing and mixing up the timings of her wall of shit. And then, just punishing off that with her better moves, or stronger moves. With Pit, you can just shoot arrows inside whatever the fuck. You can angle those overnight in order to get to her, so Knight's pretty much just gone. Now she has to play CQC, which is, her CQC really isn't that good. Mid-range is decent. Her long-range game is really what she capitalizes on to actually find approaches because she can use her up B from long distance, which is great. She can use her Knight from long distance, her fucking fire thing, whatever the fuck it is. It's not explosive flame because that's poly, but you get what I mean. It's she plays a lot more of a long range game than us, while also having a reflector. So it's really something that you have to you really want to mitigate pretty much any way of using like that situation against her. You want to mitigate Knight, and you can only really do that by like not shooting through Knight, but shooting her around with Knight.
reflect arrows with neutral B whatever, and she generally struggles to approach. So with Pit,
She does.
my 3 to 4 damage arrows aren't that threatening even for a lightweight like her.
But she has a fucking reflector and
My
a shield though. She
Dark
can
Pit
just shield and
6 to
reflect.
7 damage arrows, that's threatening. 2 of these arrows
But you're not gonna hit that shit like that close to her though.
in neutral is
She's gonna shield it.
basically the same damage as a back air. So I win neutral with 2 arrows. Like a good win on neutral, whereas Pit needs like 3 to 4 arrows for the same
He needs
exact win.
4.
Huge difference right
Pretty much just half the
there, right?
damage.
That's the difference between Zelda saying, oh, I can set up knights and guess with up every now and then. And
I mean, she can obviously just reflect and shield that shit, so. But she can just do the thing where like she sets up knights in front of her. Pretty sure it's like a wave bouncer B reverse thing. But yeah, she can easily just set knights up in front of her, so that statement is kind of invalid.
aw, dang. I can't risk setting up knights and doing these up Bs because I'm taking too much damage. So, matters a lot. Especially if you're charging these arrows, kind of bait things out.
But yeah, now just imagine you shoot arrow, she reflects it, you orbital, She jumps over it, then she just buffers like the night thing. Okay, cool.
Or let's not play against Samus. And Samus wants to,
You're not
kind of
playing
similar.
against
Set up
Samus.
charge shots, space with some Zairs, keep me out of range with her bears and her nairs and forward tilts, go for grabs. And she's a heavyweight, right? So like 3 to 4 damage isn't a big deal on her. But like 6 to 7 damage, that's noticeable for her, especially when she's not a.
I mean, that is true. You would want to use it for that. You're basically using him to counter camp, just not against opponents that have, reflectors. You can't out camp Wolf. You can't out camp Zelda, really. You can't out camp. Let's see, who the fuck else? You can't out camp Falco or Fox. Zorda, pretty much.
Approaching once again. So like, those matchups, for example, I would definitely play Dark Pit over Pit.
Basically, just play Dark Pit against somebody that doesn't have a fucking reflector. pretty much.
Or even a character like Roy, for example.
Roy, actually, you can use either fucking character. I don't understand really what the benefit of having Dark Pit over Pit is in that matchup. I mean, you can't cover. The thing about like playing Dark Pit versus Roy is that you can't cover him landing on you with the projectile. Like Pit, he kind of has like that a little bit of fluidity or mobility with the Zero, and it can stop jumps and just halt his shit. He's either forced to like fall back or land on you with some aggressive shit, then you just use not a shield option. Yeah, Roy can be fought with either one, but I don't understand what the overall advantage of Dark Pit is over Pit in a lot of the cases. I get that arrows do damage, but Roy's traveling so fucking fast that chances are he's not going to get hit by a fucking arrow from long range. He's not going to want to be at the long range in the first place, so your biggest thing is to find ways of killing him off stage, which you can do with either character, so it all boils down to finding your openings and just doing what you need to do. But I don't see Roy like getting fucking camped out by Pit or anything, so I don't know really what he's implying here.
Who actually, maybe that one's debatable.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm like, he even said it's debatable.
Let's say I'm fighting Cloud, right?
Okay, there we go.
He's gonna camp with limit charge regardless, but the Dark Pit arrow is gonna be very annoying for him because he's gonna take so much more damage.
That's true.
Going for limit charges.
But when I play against fucking Roy, or when I play against Cloud, those motherfuckers just don't get hit. But even then, they're gonna be utilizing platforms a lot more, so they're gonna be in positions where it's like, oh, am I actually gonna get hit by this? No. You're not gonna play a Cloud on FD most of the time. Unless it's Spargo. It doesn't fucking matter because you're gonna lose. But like, I don't know. There's so many other things to worry about with Cloud than worrying about like getting a hit with arrow. That's just me, because he has longer disjointed fucking moves and faster mobility in the air. So I don't know.
And it's gonna make the matchup go from I have to approach him neutral stop limit to I can kind of lame him out with arrows while he's approaching the limit.
I mean, not really though. Like he can kind of just like move around. Like especially since you can't really cover platforms that well, he's just gonna fucking go to a platform if you're doing that, and then or like any kind of platform, and then just charge limit. Then just wait until he has like the mobility boost from limit to just fuck you up, and just make you like fuck up in a pro. That's pretty much what he does.
And do enough
like I feel like Cloud could definitely outcamp Pit for sure.
damage to make it a fine trade. He gets limit, but I do damage. And I think Marcina is another character where I would go Dark Pit because.
I mean, Marcina's either one though. Like it actually doesn't fucking matter which character you pick in the Marcina matchup because you're basically doing the same thing fundamentally. I mean, I guess like against Marth, I think I'd actually pick Dark Pit over Pit, just because I don't want to actually fuck with him and make him basically play the approach game. But even it's just, if I'm retreating and he hits me with the tipper, I'm kind of fucked. And I'm like way more likely to be put in a disadvantageous situation if I'm running away. But against Lucina, it literally does not fucking matter though. Like you basically do the same shit. You're just, you're staying in that range of like, oh, I want to cover her jumps. Okay, cool. Fucked up her landing. Yeah, because I have a projectile and she doesn't. Now he's forced to approach. Like it's a little different than Cloud to me because of the just inherent like mobility buff. Cloud having projectile, shit like that. It's a little bit different.
Characters are particularly fast at approaching, and the character has to approach because they have no projectiles.
That's true.
So like because the opponent's already going to approach, you might as well make the approach harder and more threatening for them.
True.
And then there's
And then Aegis came out.
some matchups where actually the Dark Pit Arrow is better for edge guarding. Let's say I'm fighting a Terry, right? And Terry's off stage. If I hit him with a Pit Arrow, since Pit Arrows have very low knockback to like high percents, if he's off stage, I shoot him with like an arrow and he side Bs before then, gets hit, he can do another side B and actually gain recovery distance.
Oh yeah, he
because
can. That
such
shit's
low
stupid as
knockback, and
fuck.
he has
That
such
is
a quick
true.
burst option in the air. Recovery.
That's true.
Whereas Dark Pit, if I shoot him with that same arrow, it'll push him back so far that not only will he probably not gain much distance if at all by like mashing side B as soon as he gets hit, but gives me a lot more time to set up an edge guard because he has to regain the distance
That
instead
is
of
true.
just effectively gaining more distance.
That is true.
So I find characters with really good airspeed and excel off stage, or really good burst options for recoveries. I'd rather go Dark Pit versus. So Terry's a good example of that. I'm trying to think of other characters right
Ike.
now. I'd have to
Fucking
look at the
Crom.
roster.
Crom's ass. Jesus
Oh.
Christ.
Like Ryu Ken for sure.
You
That's
can.
another good example of that.
I can see it.
And you can debate, hey, the Buzz, I'd go pin those matchups, but I'm just explaining what my
No, I
what
can
my
definitely. I can definitely see. You don't want to approach those motherfuckers.
process is for these characters. So yeah, and that's why I go Dark Pit. Is those matchups where the pit arrows actually either not gonna help the edge guards or actually help my opponent recover in certain ways, or matchups where I don't need to cover certain angles. Like I'm finding a character that recovers from the side pretty much all the time, and not so much low. I don't really need Pit because Pit's arrows are particularly good at covering low recoveries, but from the side you don't really need that. You can just do this just as effectively.
I mean, it's still
Now,
limited though.
The other thing I consider when I'm picking the characters, although not so much, is stages.
Okay.
And generally the rule of thumb is a big stage you go Pit in. I mean, a big stage you go Dark Pit in, because
Really?
we're going to play defensively in camp and use those arrows. But a small stage I would go Pit in.
I mean, it really just depends on your preference. I wouldn't say that's actually true. I think it's more like platform layout than anything, and the walls more than anything. Like it's really more important about the walls, like the stage height, like the ceiling, and the overall platform layout than anything. Than just saying, oh, I need a bigger or smaller stage. Because Callus's ass, it's like, that's a Dark Pit stage because Pit side B isn't gonna fucking kill. Dark Pit side B is gonna kill like crazy. You can camp. You have the open layout. And you have ways of getting, just other shit. Like you're able to force approaches way easier. For like Yoshi's, really just depends on what you want to play because it has a low ceiling. It also has a fucking low it also has like low walls and shit. So like either one can work in a lot of situations. It's good for juggling, for Pit, but it's also good for like throwing your opponent off stage and killing them really easily. FD doesn't have platforms, so it's like, what the fuck do you do? What do you want to play? Like the walls and the height aren't necessarily good, but your opponent has limited options of jumping over you and shit, so you can utilize arrows for Pit to cover jumps and work off like building your stage control, then just fucking up their approaches over and over and over. You have Dark Pit who can just camp and shoot arrows and shit, cover different level. It just really depends on what your preference is. So there's a lot of nuance with just saying like bigger stage, smaller stage.
Because I'm gonna have less from the camp with arrows. I'm gonna be probably edge guarding more, and in that case need the better arrows for a lot.
Yeah, I wouldn't even say like edge guarding specifically. Like edge guarding's optimistic. It's just more or less just like how far are you gonna knock your opponent out? Can you get your confirms? Because in a lot of cases, like if you can get confirms, you don't really have to worry too much about edge guarding certain characters, especially because the recovery is already so bad and they're probably just gonna die anyways.
Matchups, and while it's not always the case,
you can just shoot like an arrow, pew pew or some shit for like Pit or Dark Pit. So edge guarding variations don't really matter. Just getting the edge guard in general is good.
oftentimes I prefer Pit on the smaller stages because Pit arrows are still more often than not better than Dark Pits for edge guarding.
No, for edge guarding, you said.
Now, why would I go Pit then? The obvious answer is the opposite situations, right? But let's expand on this a bit more. So,
Okay.
I would go Pit in matchups where arrows aren't going to be a key plan in my game.
I use arrows for a key play. I actually think about it the opposite, to be honest. Arrows for me are like, okay, I use arrows to approach, play disadvantage, edge guard for Pit. For Dark Pit, I basically just use arrows as a tool to stop people from camping me, and a tool for edge guarding, and a tool for like, pretty much some form of like variation of those two things. That's yeah. Arrow conversions are great, but like you don't really get too many arrow conversions. You get confirms, sure, at like high enough percents, or you get tech chase situations from dark pit arrows and shit. But overall, it's just eh. It really depends on how your playstyle actually is and how you want to approach a matchup, because you can utilize like different things for each character, but it's just based off of like what you personally like to do.
Plan. Whether I'm just not gonna be camping with them much. Whether I still lose the camp or like I'm.
Yeah, like I literally only play dark pit if somebody is camping me out, because I don't want to deal with getting camped. Yeah, arrows just have a fuck ton of utility.
My dark pit arrows aren't gonna make me win neutral by camping.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna bother with dark.
I mean, to be honest, they could. They totally could. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. Dark pit arrows could totally win neutral by camping. The fuck? Especially if you're up. Like, fuck. What are you talking about?
Because I know I don't get enough from the dark pit arrows.
Like, you get way more off of dark pit arrows in terms of camping. Pit arrows are kind of useless for camping. It's just more or less just like, I'm getting some hits to basically stop you from approaching a certain way that I'm uncomfortable with. And that's pretty much what it is. So dark pits are more for calling out landings or jumps or shit like that, or getting like intricate like angles for edge guarding, jump. Like it's pretty much the character. Even juggling situations. Dark pits are more just like, oh, you're camping me? Fuck no, I have a wolf laser.
To compensate in that matchup. But the same thing with DK, right? Who has burst options for approaching, does a lot of damage, so he doesn't care about the arrows. And that's another big factor is characters who are.
But he could just fucking die though. That's the thing about DK.
Heavyweight generally don't care about the little damage.
And he gets fucking juggled like crazy. What?
Damage from arrows, regardless of pit or dark pit. So the dark pit arrows aren't that much more threatening, and they're not gonna set up tech chases really because they're heavyweights.
What do you mean? We're totally gonna set up tech chase. Just at like, not those percents.
So check like DK, I'd go pit in because dark pit arrows aren't gonna do much for me. Or if I like a warrior.
I would 100% use dark pit in certain match. Like, you can utilize the character in either way. To be honest, like it doesn't matter if you don't want to approach your opponent, play dark pit. If you want to approach the opponent and call out habits, and get like higher risk, higher reward type shit, you can go pit. It's just up to you. But I personally, it doesn't fucking matter in that case. Like against a character that both of your characters even beat.
I'd probably go pit in those matchups instead of dark pit.
It literally does not fucking matter. Just about what your playstyle is.
They're fast with their approaches. They're gonna be in my face a lot. And my
okay, the fuck? Just because they're in your face, like, how does Pit actually win? Like, what tools does Pit have that allow you to be more comfortable with Roy as versus Dark Pit? I just don't understand.
Dark pit arrows aren't gonna keep them out enough to
like, it's not really about keeping them out. Like, you still have to play neutral against the character, but Pit can't really just like, unless you're doing like B-reverse, like angled up arrows and shit like that, which do like some small chip damage to get certain like positions to where you can get like grabs and shit. That's really all you're gonna use arrows for in the first place. But that's not gonna be like a deciding factor on how to play the matchup. It's all gonna be footsies. But in a lot of cases, like dark pit arrows are still gonna have the same utility as pit arrows for that matchup if you're going to play a reserved game. But you don't really have the tools on your own to just be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna fuck up Crom in neutral. Like, no, you're gonna whiff punish him and you're gonna throw him off stage and kill him at a really early ass percent because you're fucking Pit. And regardless of which character you pick, it still doesn't matter because you still have the exact same moves that are gonna do the same thing in that position.
Justify losing the better edge guards. And now, also of course, in all these matchups, when characters do want to recover low, pit arrows are just better.
I mean, that's true, yeah. That's true.
DK, he's recovering low, you need to recover that, pit arrows.
What fucking DK is gonna recover low? That nigga can't recover for shit.
Climber's going low. You actually kill Ice Climber super easily with pit arrows because it kind of desyncs stand-up hopo so they can't beat.
Okay, that's true.
So pit arrows for sure.
If that nigga DK is recovering that low, he's not gonna recover in the first place. DK can't be that low. The fuck? DK can't be that low.
I'm fighting a Fox who can cover to side with side B or low.
You can actually time down air. It's just hard. You can time it. You can time it against like. Fuck. You can time it against Fox or Falco. It's just like, You need to be very on top of it and get it like right when they fucking start launching. I think it's like right when they say fire or some shit like that. Like right when you hear that, then you go for the down air to connect like right outside of their hitbox, and there won't be a hitbox active that's actually long enough to hit you. So
With up B,
keep that in
pit
mind.
arrows. So they fall super low with every up B and they just die. And characters with very low
But no, pit arrows aren't just gonna fucking kill Fox or Falco though, unless they don't have a jump.
Eric Cell.
But
Or
that's just a matchup thing that you have to know. Like, don't use your jump early against this character unless they're like on your nuts.
and no burst options for recovery, right? Like let's say you're fighting Marcina. Now I said it probably
Honestly, Marcina doesn't do too bad against getting edge guarded. They can fair. They can fair arrows, which is pretty cool. They can counter them to stall for a little bit of their shit with arrows, which is pretty cool. Dancing Blade doesn't go through, sadly. Yeah, they can do Dancing Blade, I guess, to stall a little bit more too. Then utilize their jumps to basically get back on stage. But you have to get like a really good like read, or get a ledge trump. Like ledge trumping is really scary for that character though. So I guess that works too. But it's just
I want Dark Pit for that matchup. But you can also argue
it really doesn't matter.
Pit for that kind of matchup, because when they're off stage, if you can snipe them out of their like the Aerodol, they have such a little air cell that they're basically dead if you get like, a couple
They can just fucking air dodge though.
good snipes with Pit. And if you don't even kill them with the snipes, they're so easy to edge guard afterwards.
Unless they're approaching with arrow off stage, like air dodging is fine for Marth and Lucina. I know because I've played Marth and Lucina in that matchup. It's okay. It just really depends on what you want to do. But they have a counter, which is good. Arrows are kind of annoying, but just as long as they save their jump, they're fine. Because the gap between arrows is actually longer than people think. So it's not broken or anything. It's just you need to know how the fuck to recover. Make sure you're doing it right.
And keep sniping. So that's another great example of when I'd go Pit. And that's actually an example of a matchup where the stage itself will probably determine it.
Yeah, exactly.
A
That
long
too.
stage I probably would play more neutral. A short stage I'm probably gonna play more of an edge guard based game. But yeah,
Really?
so
I didn't know that.
generally speaking, fast characters on the ground, heavyweights, characters that out projectile me regardless. Duck is another great example of this. Are characters who I would go Pit versus.
That's like the exact opposite of what I do, actually. Believe it or not. Except for like the out projectile thing, I guess. But yeah, I'd argue that those, because there's only like a couple. I don't even think Duck Hunt necessarily out projectiles Pit because we have orbitals on the ground. So if he doesn't want to approach, it's fine. It's okay, I guess. But yeah, all that pretty much full category of characters I go Dark Pit for. So it's really preference.
Compared to Dark Pit. And yeah, I hope this just gave you guys a good understanding of my mindset of picking characters. There's obviously a lot of subtleties to it, maybe matchup specific things, like maybe I need to be able to do like jump, angle, down, arrow.
I'm not gonna front. He's done a better job of explaining how to utilize the differences between the character from his perspective, but it's so nuanced. Like there's so many different playstyles of the character. Making this guide is a bit subjective, in my opinion. Like it's really just up to like what you are getting out of the character. But I feel like it would be more important to like cover the strengths specifically, and this lead it on to like what strengths each character has, then move that on to, how to utilize it in specific situations. But I don't know. I this one isn't bad, to be honest. It's just vague and very subjective.
Or neutral with Pit.
I wouldn't even really say this is a guide. It's just like a preference video to me.
Was a Dark Pit, and then I'd want to like play Pit instead. Corn's a good example of that actually, where I like doing like this a lot to cover jumping or this. But
Yeah.
that's my general rule of thumb, and I generally
Makes
do
sense.
prefer Dark Pit over Pit for the better neutral. But that's not to say it's a better character. That's just my preference. And with that said, guys, hope you learned something from this, and peace out.
All right. Yeah, looks like that's about it. Hope you guys enjoyed that. I'm gonna go chill, I guess. Yeah.